This is the line, a city that's supposed to be 170 kilometers long, 500 meters tall, and built as a perfect straight line through the Saudi desert.
The line.
And the line.
The line.
When it was announced in 2021, it didn't just sound ambitious, it sounded impossible. A city with no cars, no roads, powered entirely by clean energy, where everything you need is in 5 minutes away. Back then, critics said it was just CGI. But today, satellite images tell a different story. There are trenches, drills, concrete, and thousands of workers. But here is the real question. Is the line actually being built? Or is Saudi Arabia quietly backing away from its boldest promise? To answer that, we need to deep dive. The Lion is a part of much bigger plan called Vision 2030, led by Mohammed bin Salman, the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia.
تبنى المدن لحماية الإنسان بمساحات ضيقة. وبعد الثورة الصناعية بنيت المدن لتضع الآلة والسيارة والمصنع قبل الإنسان. المدن التي تدعي أنها هي الأفضل في العالم يقضي فيها الإنسان سنين من حياته من أجل التنقل، وسوف تتضاعف هذه المدة في 2050. في 2050 سوف يهجر مليار إنسان بسبب ارتفاع انبعاثات الكربون وارتفاع منسوب مياه البحار. اليوم بصفتي رئيس مجلس إدارة نيوم نقدم لكم ذا لاين، مدينة مليونية بطول 170 كيلو تحافظ على 95% من الطبيعة في أراضي نيوم، صفر سيارات، صفر شوارع، وصفر انبعاثات كربونية.
Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced the Neom business zone will likely be publicly listed in 2024. We have big aims to get Saudi Arabia among the top 3 largest stock markets on the planet, the Crown Prince said. He also forecast Neom's IPO will bring close to 1 trillion riyals to the Saudi Arabian market.
The problem Saudi Arabia is trying to solve is simple. Oil won't last forever. So the country decided to do something no one else has tried. Built entirely new cities from scratch, powered by technology, tourism, and global investment. This is where Neom comes in.
Made to change.
Neom.
No, it is.
Neom.
There, in that quarter of Saudi Arabia. Neom.
Can I just get a simple answer? What is Neom?
Wait, ski slopes in the desert.
Yeah, it's
Nuts. Call it what you want, but it's a place that's going to change the way we live on this planet.
A mega region on the Red Sea, the size of a small country. Inside Neom, there are multiple projects. Floating industrial city called Oxagon, a mountain resort called Trozana, and at the center of all, the Lion. So when Saudi Arabia said it wasn't just an idea but something they were actually digging into, the world paid attention. In late 2022, something changed. Satellite images revealed a massive trench cutting across the desert. Not a test site, not a model, a trench stretching for kilometers. By 2023 and 2024, it became clear that Saudi Arabia wasn't pretending anymore. But here is the key detail most people missed. They were never building all 170 kilometers at once. What's under construction today is phase 1, about 2.4 kilometers long.
So the line is an answer to a question the chairman and the board asked of Neom a number of years ago, which was, how do we create a city of the future that can ultimately house 9 million people in line with the kingdom's population growth over the next 100 years, can be phased, and doesn't come with all the normal problems of a city, which is inequality, sprawl, congestion, and pollution. That's almost an impossible equation. How do you build a city the size of New York relatively quickly in phases, but have no cars, run it on 100% renewable energy, everybody has equal opportunity and access to all amenities. So it became an equation, and the equation resulted in the answer being a vertical city. So the smallest possible footprint, as tall as we can do it, and then to stack and pack how people live in an amenities, so all of their daily and weekly and monthly needs are adjacent them. You don't need to leave the structure literally to play football. There will be a stadium inside.
So if all this is real, why did reports start saying the line was being scaled down? Let's understand that. The biggest reason is also the simplest: money. As cost becomes clearer, estimates for the full Neom vision exploded, reaching figures as high as 8 to 9 trillion. Not billion, trillion. That's more than Saudi Arabia's entire annual GDP. Around the same time, senior Neom executives quietly exited. Officially, Saudi Arabia says this was always the plan, built the line in modules over decades. But the original promise, 170 kilometers by 2030, is now effectively impossible.
And shifting focus to Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's dream project, the Neom City, last month Saudi Arabia explored options of fundraising as it faced a cash crunch to build the mega city. Now a former intelligence officer of Saudi Arabia has made shocking allegations against Riyadh, which include the use of force to evict people to make way for Neom. According to reports, Saudi Arabia has authorized its forces to crack down on any villages that protest the relocation. The former Saudi colonel claims that he was tasked with relocating villagers in a region which was on the end of Neom City. And the officer says that tribes began protesting over news of relocation as they inhabited the region for generations. The protests then turned violent, leading Saudi Arabia's forces to put an end to demonstrations. The retired Saudi colonel, who is now based in the United Kingdom, claims that one of the tribe members was actually shot dead in the scuffle. And the officer added that Saudi government supported the troops who took action against the protest. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's government says that the tribes opened fire first and the death happened when its troops acted in self-defense.
There are also deeper concerns. Can actually people live in this city, this dense? What happens in desert heat without outdoor air conditioning? And will this be a real city or a futuristic monument? Which brings us to the most important question of all. The line isn't dead, but it's not what it was promised to be. What Saudi Arabia is building right now is not a city for 9 million people. It's a test for money, a test of engineering, and most of all, a test of whether humans actually want to live in the future we imagine. And the answer to that question won't come from renderings. It comes from what happens next. Thank you for sticking till the end. You can watch my other documentaries by clicking here and subscribe. It's important. Subscribe.